How's everybody doing tonight? I just did some deadlifts tonight. I went up to 500. I haven't deadlifted since I think June. Yeah, probably the maybe the beginning of July. I'll have to go look at my records. I ended up when I squatted 535 at the competition, I ended up injuring my hip slightly. Not slightly. I injured it, man. I had a hard time getting out of bed and everything. Slightly, by what I mean by slightly is I didn't need surgery, you know. If you need surgery, then it's more than slightly. But yeah, uploaded to your channel. Okay, my video has been uploaded. If anybody wants to check it out. It's not very exciting. It's just a 500-pound deadlift, you know. Yeah. So that pretty much proves that I can deadlift 500 pounds at almost any time, no matter what, almost. I definitely couldn't have done it the day of the competition, though, after my hip injury. Yeah, I squatted 535 on the third attempt. Second attempt, I had the same weight on there, but I didn't quite get to depth. But on the third attempt, I buried it, and I got a good squat. But I also injured the hip. I got the record. I broke my record. Actually, I broke it first attempt with 505. But that was the most I've ever squat. I wanted a personal record. I ended up getting a personal record that day. But welcome to my channel. A person who showed up here. Person on there, I see one under people. How are you doing tonight? Tonight was deadlift night. I deadlifted 500 pounds for the first time. You can probably see it in the back there, the weight. Where can you see it? Yeah, probably a little bit. Well, let me move out of the way right there. Right there, you can see it. There you go. I deadlifted 500 pounds for the first. Deadlifted 500 pounds since the beginning of summer. I was gonna deadlift. I was thinking about 550 in the competition. It was the beginning of July when I competed last, but I ended up injuring my hip a little. Not, I won't say slightly, because it hurt for about 2 weeks. If it was more than slightly, it would no surgery or any of that, you know, no surgery. But yeah, there's the weight right there. I just did it. The video's up. I haven't. It's only the second time. Last week I've been taking it slow. Last week I only went up to 455, I think. I went up to 455. Donated 129 via Joe's website. I went up to 425. No, sorry, 455 last week. And it went up pretty good, but I didn't want to go up any heavier than that since I hadn't deadlifted since June, almost. I haven't deadlifted anything significantly except for tonight since like the end of June, you know. It went up pretty easy. That's all I did. I deadlifted the 500. I mean, I warmed up from 130. What I usually do is I'll do 2 sets of 135, you know, with multiple reps. 2 sets of 225, multiple reps. Then I'll do 315 for 2 sets. Usually I go to 404. This time I just went from 315 to 500. Pulled that and I called it a night. That's it. Tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll probably do probably shoulders maybe. I've been doing shoulders every week now. You know, just a pin press shoulders. I don't want to, I don't do any more standing overhead presses that much anymore. I mean, I have a couple of times, but I don't want to get shoulder impingement like I got last time. I want it just enough so I can build on my bench, you know. But 500 pounds, that was pretty encouraging tonight, you know. Yeah, I worked till about 2:10 today at the base. I work at a military base. I got home at 3. It's about an hour's drive home. Took a little nap for about an hour. My usual routine. I work about 7 hours, 8 hours. I get home. I have a protein drink when I get home. And then I take a little nap, probably about an hour usually, the most. And then after that, I'll have some like organic cereal with another scoop of protein on top of it, a banana, and a little bit of a pre-workout. That's it. That's what I do for my little snack before I work out. Uh, Always the same cereal. Sometimes it's yogurt. I like vanilla organic yogurt, vanilla flavored, and I'll put a scoop of protein on that with some fruit. I like. Sometimes I'll grab a whole bunch of grapes. We have a bunch of grapes, but I've really started cutting the sugar out of my diet. A lot of the sugars out of my diet. Like for lunch, when I'm at the base, they have a whole soda machine, but I'll drink it's called bubbly. It's sparkling water, and I might put a tiny bit of like a pink lemonade just to flavor it, just a tiny bit. Same thing in the morning when if there's orange juice, I have a little bit of orange juice in the glass, about that much, and then we have this flavored water. I'll add the rest of that, But yeah, a full glass of orange juice that'll overload the sugar for me, Yeah, I'm 57 years old. I try not to drink and take in too much sugar, except for the occasional ice cream during the weekend, I kind of cheated last night. I had a bowl of ice cream, but yeah, I don't use sugar in my coffee anymore, I tend to feel a lot better that I don't take in too much sugar all the time, Yeah, there's a lot of sugar and alcohol if you're drinking a lot. And last night we were talking a lot about my trials and tribulations of getting sober over a decade ago. Did I ever tell you? I was in and out of jails. I got sober. It's been almost exactly, what's the day today? It's been over 10 years and 8 months now. It's been 10 years, 8.5 months that I've been sober. I was in every county jail I ever, from age like 39, no, maybe even, 39 to about 38, 39 to 46. Wherever I went, I was in and out of all the county jails, Yeah, and in and out of county jails. I was in a jail in Palm Beach County. First, they have gun club in Palm Beach. This is when I lived in Florida. I'm in southeastern Massachusetts now. This is my home turf here. But I was in a place. First, I went to gun club. It was for theft of under $300, misdemeanor theft. But I didn't have any bond money or nothing there. I was a complete loser then, complete loser. This is going back to 2008, I believe, or 9. I think it was 8. But then I went to a place called the Stockade, which all it means, it's a stockade for the jail. So people that are going to, they're doing their trials or whatever, that go to gun club that don't have a real serious charge, but some people do go there with a little bit of a serious charge. But I got into the Stockade in 2008, Palm Beach County, and guess what infamous guy had just left there? Can you take one guess? 2008, Palm Beach County, Florida. What's this? What's up, my brother? I just finished my night shift job, got this on my feed, and I just subbed. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna sleep real quick and send you luck. Thank you, God bless you, I appreciate it. But can anybody out there guess what infamous person was in the Stockade when he was just getting out when I went in there. I heard stories about this guy. They said there was a billionaire that was at the Stockade, and he had, there's usually pods. The pods in there have 40 people or something. Maybe I'm wrong. It was so long ago. I think it was a lot of people in one pod with a bunch of bunks, Yeah, a bunch of bunks. And the rumor was there was a billionaire in there just as I was getting in there, and he had bought everybody in the pod the maximum commissary you could have is $120 a week. He bought everybody in the pod maximum commissary. He bought everybody, all 40 people or whatever was in there, the 120 a week the time he was in there. And he was even buying the guards steak dinners and putting money in their accounts. And he was getting out. He was in there on work release, so he'd go home to Palm Beach Island. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah, Epstein. So I heard about that creep way back then, you know. They said that he was they said there was a what they call a chomo, who was a billionaire. And they said, oh yeah, he was over there. They pointed to where he was at. And they said he bought everybody in the pod, full bond, a bond of, which means the full amount of commissary. And he was even buying the guards food, giving the guards money to go out and have steak dinners and putting money in their account. Yeah, it was Epstein. Yeah, how about that? They should have never let him. He slided on that charge. Yeah. I have no idea. I don't know. This is not the right place to talk about that. Probably one is Anadrol is stronger. I'll just answer it this way. Anadrol is stronger, and Dianabol is a little bit weaker. And both are very toxic to the liver. Any kind of oral steroid is toxic to the liver. If you're going to do it, only do it for a certain amount of time, or you'll end up, you could, I'm not saying you will, you may end up frying your liver. Especially that Anadrol. Yeah. One thing I have some advice for anybody out there: don't ever talk about what you're doing or if you're buying that stuff, because unless you're like in another country or whatever, but United States is just as illegal as heroin. I know a couple of bodybuilders that were shooting their mouth off about it, and they ended up getting federally indicted. You know, that's why I don't blame some of these guys like The Rock. And what's his name there? Jesus, what the fuck's his name? The other guy there, I can't think of his name, but I don't blame these guys for not saying anything about it. Shit's illegal. What are you gonna do? Say it's as illegal as heroin. You go to prison for that shit. Oh, what the hell is his name? Yeah, Mike O'Hearn. Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't blame these guys. Don't say nothing about it, man. Don't say anything about it. Yeah. What's his name? There was a bodybuilder from Florida. He's out there he's in Facebook now. I can't think of these guys' name. My memory sucks, man. But yeah, he ended up getting busted. He was always bragging about it, Especially on the internet, man. All you got to do is have somebody it's a whistleblower to call, Yeah, I'll give, it's not going to hurt to give you advice, right? So I apologize for that. Yeah, if you're going to do one of those two, only take it for a certain amount of time, maybe no more than a month at the most, because it's bad, very toxic on the liver. Very toxic. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm not really giving advice. I'm telling you what knowledge I have really of it. But yeah, never say anything on the internet about if you're taking it or bragging about it, boy. I tell you, you got a whistleblower that calls the cops, especially if you're in small town USA, and the cops don't have much else better to do. Yeah. Probably the safest is, if any of it's safe, it's probably, I can't think of this name. Anavar, probably it's a weaker one. And propionate, not propionate, but primobolan, not as much side effects. Primobolan, not as many side effects. Winstrol's not as bad, Boy, the women that do it it's not a good idea for women, especially. They're not naturally made to do testosterone, you know. Some of the women bodybuilders, boy, they start masculizing, you know, their face and everything. That's all I'll say on that. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of his name. John Defendus. Yeah, he did some time for it. Mike something. I can't think of these guys' name. One guy did some did some time. A lot of bodybuilders have done time for it. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So that's my story about Epstein. He was in the cell next over from me. He had left though just before I got there. But they should have never let the guy out. You know, they should have never let that guy out. It was during. No, it was. I think it was Biden. Biden was just becoming president, or he wasn't. He wasn't president yet. I think it was during Bush's last. It was. It was during Bush's last term. Yeah, during Bush's last term. Um, yeah, he got the feds really were easy on him. He could have done. Should have been in life, done life then, and then we wouldn't have this big mess we have going through now with the list and all that bullshit, you know. Which is turning out to be what I call a nothing burger. You know, the guy. I don't think the guy was that dumb to leave a list of any people's names. They say a good criminal does not leave evidence like that. You know what I mean? Doesn't they don't write people's names down. I think if you're gonna find out who was on that, who was perpetrating those crimes, my best ever bench was 405, done at 56 years old. I've only done 405 twice. Once was when I was 53 years old. It was a sloppy touch and go. Nobody spotting me. I ended up locking it out though, barely. And then I did it 3 years later at 56 years old. After my second attempt of 400 pounds, I did 405, and it pretty much flew up like no problem. And yeah, since I'm older, you know, 56, and then I was trying to get higher, trying to go higher, and I ended up pulling a muscle somewhere along the line and having to go backwards a little bit, you know. I've done 400 400 four times in competition, and all in my mid to late 50s. After the 405, I did 403. It was kilogram plates and a 560 deadlift, somewhere around there. It was a push pull at 56 years old. Push pull. I'm actually, for my weight and age, I'm number 2 in open powerlifting for my age and weight for push pull for the total. I'm number 2, and my friend is number 1. My friend, very strong guy. I don't think I'll beat him, you know. I don't know. I've deadlifted him more than him, but he's got a big bench. It's in the mid 400s. But I'm still trying though, you know. You never give up. Never give up. 405. My best deadlift is 600. I deadlifted 500 today. First time deadlifting 500 since the beginning of summer. You know, I actually pulled 495, but with straps, before I ever benched 255. I could only bench 225 for 5, and I pulled 5 plates. So I think the first time I deadlifted, I did 365. First time in my life, you know, at like 19 or 20. 19 or 20. So I worked out a little bit as a youngster, you know. I actually did bench 405 another time in my early 30s. Working out for about 7 or 8 months back then. See, I was, you know my story. I'm a recovered alcoholic, I like to call it too, because as long as I don't drink, I'm recovered from it. But I worked out on and off in my 20s and 30s. And I got pretty strong in that period. Like, I remember doing pound dumbbells for 15. without anybody spotting me, you know, stuff like that, you know. Shoulder press, on the shoulder press. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, everybody. On the shoulder press, yeah. I got pretty strong, but I only work out because I never could get more than a year of sobriety in my 20s and early 30s. And the way I use, you're not going to work out the way I was using. Easy one. What's that? What's going to crazy then? Thank you. I appreciate it. CSDE. My eyes aren't that great. Yeah, I took a little nap today, man. I'm 57 years old, you know. I was going to deadlift. I didn't know if I was going to be able to deadlift. My back was like, I have a sore, it's on the left side of my back, man. It's a little sore. And man, when I woke up from that nap, boy, was I stiff. I did pop a couple of ibuprofen, you know. A couple of ibuprofen. I had my little snack, and then I deadlifted. I went up to 500. 5 plates and 2.5. Yep, 5 plates and 2.5. I don't like that uneven number, the 495. But that's about it tonight. I think I'm gonna go. I gotta go get something to eat. Hope everybody has a great night. God bless you.